to hear. I'd like to introduce my man, Mr. Michael Exler from the East Coast Horror Group. Mikey, take it away.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you. All right, thank you guys again for coming to Chicago. Pretty excited about this panel, so let's get it started. Without further delay, Shannon, come on up. Well, thank you for taking some time out to talk with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for coming out. It's like cold and windy and rainy, and you're my heroes, so thank you.
Sure. First question, to start off with an easy one. What made you want to pursue your career in entertainment?
I don't know. I mean, it was something I wanted to do since I was young. My dad, I remember when I was in high school, he had read in the newspaper that there was a local band that was going to be casting for a local music video. They wanted their first video in their hometown. So he told me about it. I went downtown and auditioned and got an extra role in it. And that was kind of the beginning of it for me. The producer and director were from New York. The director ended up being Antoine Fuqua, who went on to do a lot of amazing films. And yeah, I mean, it's a much longer story, but it's something I always wanted to do.
So you grew up in Texas. Is that where your modeling career with Auditions began?
No, that Auditions began in Los Angeles. But I started modeling in New York, and then from there I was in Japan for about a year. We went lower. Are there tornadoes in Chicago? Oh, it's the windy city, right? The windy city. I traveled around like all over the world, went back to Dallas, did something there, and then eventually went to Los Angeles.
Talk about the differences between modeling and acting. What was the most difficult transition?
Well, part of why I did the modeling, I never wanted to model. It was not my thing. I didn't think I could do it or should be doing it. But I knew that I wanted to act, and that at the time, commercials were the common thread. So if I was modeling and could do commercials, then maybe commercials could lead me to the acting, because actors were doing commercials too. So that was kind of my thinking. And when I moved to LA, I wasn't planning on moving there at first. I was going to go to LA, drive across country, hitting all the major modeling markets and building up my money and saving up, and then going to LA and trying to pursue the acting. But my agency in Dallas said, you know, while you're out there, you're going to be out there a couple weeks, just see some photographers, go to some agencies. They have the best out there, and just get some new photos. So that's when I ended up signing with Ford first, and I ended up booking a commercial. So then I postponed leaving, and I booked another commercial. So eventually I just never left, and I decided that I was going to model there for a year before I started truly pursuing the acting, because I wanted to kind of get my feet on the ground and know that I could build up my money and succeed in that, and then start pursuing another thing.
So, of course, your breakout role is when you were making that, especially filming the scene, did you have any idea that you were making that comic scene that would literally make you a sex symbol?
Let's see. I don't know what you're talking about.
Please don't make me say this.
There are children here. We can't talk about this. No, I mean, I didn't really, none of us really, I don't know why I can't speak for everyone else, but I didn't really think of it like that. I was just excited to have my first studio film. That's all I knew, my first studio job. And I remember later, the directors had me come in to do ADR, which is voiceover work, and they were like, you know, we want to play with the accent a little bit, make it lighter, like it's been in the US longer. Like, okay. So we would do a line and they'd make it lighter. They're like, less. And I did a line again. They're like, no, less. I'm like, there's nothing left. We went all the way down to like literally nothing. So after this whole session of back and forth, I remember going home and telling my friends, oh, this movie's gonna suck. They just like they were messing up my accent. They didn't let me do it. Like, it's gonna be. I was so down after that because I was so excited about the film before. And then after ADR, I was like, oh, what a bummer. I had such hope for this film. But clearly, I know nothing.
So, it's took 4 times for American Pie to get moderation second season. So what are your thoughts on that and the something that it's such a big thing?
I didn't remember that. I don't know. I mean, it's tough. Because there's some things I think that should have harsher ratings and some that don't. But, I mean, I'm not a parent, so it's really hard for me to look at things that way. Like, I let my dogs see anything they want. Doesn't bother me. So I don't know, because we see so much on the internet, and there's so many things to censor these days, from stuff on your phone and the internet and social media, the things that go around. I think kids grow up too fast as it is, but as a kid you want to grow up fast. It's all you want to do, and we want to slow them down because, like, you have forever to be an adult. Like, I think all of us, if we could go back to being a kid and being carefree and not having bills and not have to worry about things, life would be so easy. So, I mean, and plus nowadays with the food, they shoot so many hormones into our food and our kids, it's making our kids grow up faster. It's just so bad for them. So, I mean, I'm all for keeping kids as long as possible.
Now, you did work with you say that you said
I never said that. People like to put a lot of words in my mouth.
Really?
I never said I regret it.
Okay, that's good.
No, we did it actually to coincide with the film because it worked with my character. So it was actually a very strategic thing that at the time we're like, well, look, this is who your character is. So if we do this at the same time, then it's reflective of your character. Because like, it's not something I would normally do. But at the time it worked. And then people like to say, well, that I said that I would never do nudity again. And I never really said that. I said that, you know, I would do it in the right situations, but it has to be something I believe in, and it has to be something organic. Like, you don't just do it gratuitously to do it. If you're doing it in something serious, because we see things all the time where it makes sense to do it, and then stuff where it's like, okay, they just wanted to add that in there. So, I mean, don't believe everything you read, for sure.
That's what I wanted to know.
Good.
So in 2004, you had a role as in James Bond.
Yeah.
Talk about what was
Which
that?
I've never seen, by the way, because I don't play the video game.
Would you like to be in a Bond film, perhaps a Bond girl?
Of course. I would love to be in a Bond film. That'd be amazing. I mean,
Villain or Bond girl?
I think I'd rather be a villain. Because I like to do things that, so growing up, I never looked at myself as a glamorous kind of girl. It just so wasn't me. I've always been a tomboy. And the fact that I started, I guess because of American Pie, I started getting these roles where it's like the glamorous girl. And then in my heart, that's not me. I mean, I have lots of dogs and I roll around in the dirt and I'm always on the ground playing with them and I'm always in jeans. And so to do something that's athletic and fun and not having to look like, I hate fixing my hair and makeup. It's such a waste of time. Like, I really hate it. Like, I mean, it's my friends that really know me. And this is really gross, but like if I'm not going out and I'm just home with my dogs and I'm like staying home working from home all week, I'm not gonna get like shower every day. I'm not gonna fix my hair for my dogs. I'm not gonna put on makeup. Like, you know, I don't do all that stuff. I hate doing it. So like even anywhere where I have to go out, I mean, so many times people are like, let's go out tonight. I'm like, I could fix my hair and put on makeup. I'm gonna stay home. I'd rather be in bed with my dogs watching a movie. Like, it's just, like, eating something good and, like, curling up and, you know, it's just, that's for me.
So, you were in a scary movie.
Don't laugh at me. I see you. Don't laugh at me. He loves to make fun of me.
Talk about how you got involved in
Scary movie? Before American Pie came out, Miramax came to me with a 3-picture deal. And that was the first of the 3-picture deal. But they offered me some small role. I want to say there was a role of Monica. I don't even know who it is. I don't even know if it's in the movie. But they offered me this small role. I read the script. I'm like, I love the script, but I don't want that role. They're like, well, that's the one they're offering you. I'm like, I want that one. And they're like, you're welcome to come in and audition. And luckily for me, I was one of the first groups, I think, to audition. So it was a room with Keenan Ivory Wayans and casting directors and people from Miramax and who knows. And they were all sitting at a long table. And I'm out there with a chair in the middle of no man's land by myself. And I have all these monologues, and I have to make death scene where it's this big monologue. And so I'm at home rehearsing, going, how do I do this by myself? And like, you're fighting with yourself, and you're breaking your own leg, and you're doing like, it's really hard to do in a room with a chair with nothing. Like, auditions are rough. I hate auditions. But the one thing I really did right in that is when my head gets cut off, I decided, I crawled up to the table and I put my head on top of the table, right in front of Keenan. And I just like danced my head around and did like that, and they laughed so hard. And after that, they went across the country auditioning people for 4 months because they really wanted a blonde for that role. They saw a brunette for the other role and blonde for that role, and they had all these ideas in their mind. And I think from that point on, they were comparing everyone's audition to mine. And I just got lucky that I was creative with it and made them laugh. And they came back and said, let's do a chemistry test, and you don't have to be blonde. And so I ended up going, reddish. You can't always tell, but like when the light hits my hair, I went to be reddish for it just to be a little bit different. But that was a role where I was really trying to manifest in my life. Like I was sitting there meditating every night, picturing getting that role. Like I really, really wanted it. So for me, that was a big accomplishment.
So onto another comedy, your Justice things I call for.
Yeah.
Talk about working with Kevin Smith and sort of a true actor that
Kevin was amazing. I hadn't seen most of his films, or any. I think I saw Chasing Amy, but I didn't really remember it. And so I was sitting in his office across from him, chain smoking, and the windows are closed, in his tiny little office. I'm like choking, trying to talk to him. And he was asking me questions about his other films, and I'm like, no, I haven't seen it. No, sorry. Mallrats, no. Clerks, yeah. And he just kept making fun of me because I hadn't seen any of his work. And then he had Jason come in, and we did a reading, and I'm choking because now they're both smoking, I think, and it was just like, ah! But they were so much fun to be around. Like, those guys were amazing. And then they got all the girls together, and we had the best time. And then, all of these guest cameos. That was one where when I watched it, I'm like, wow, he did a great job. I was never, obviously, a big Kevin Smith fan before because I hadn't seen his movies, but after that, I was like, really, I love you. And you're amazing. I thought it was so much fun. So.
Most of us are going to be set by and in a comedy, how do you deal with being on set with so many amazingly funny people? There has to be a ton of movies, or is it?
There are, especially if you're with somebody like Keenan lets you improvise. So he'll say, let's do what's on paper once, we'll get it on paper, we'll get it on the film once, and then do whatever you want. And your number one thing is not to ruin a take by laughing, because if somebody does something good and you're in the shot, you don't want to ruin their amazing moment. So you try really hard to hold it together. Now, if it's just on them, you don't want to make them laugh. But sometimes you do kind of lose it. But if they're still at the moment a professional, they can keep going, and it doesn't matter what you're doing, it just feeds them. Because the comedians, they're fed by the laughs. They want to know that it works. They want to know that you're laughing. So it's great.
So to get to some of the horror films that you're doing, first let's talk about first.
Okay.
What was it like working with Leslie?
Wes is really sweet. He was very quiet. He would always sit and do crossword puzzles when they were striking the set and setting up for the next take. He was never stressed out about what was happening. We'd come in and ask questions, and he'd answer, and then he'd go back to his puzzle. Like, he was the calmest director I'd ever seen. I mean, and these were night shoots. When I was there, it was like a night shoot. It was cold. It was maybe, I think we were out at Santa Monica Pier one of the nights. And he was just really chill. Very, very nice man. I felt very lucky to have gotten to work with him.
Now, do you feel that the director, the one that you take from him being relaxed and calm, is that, you think actors do a better performance for a director like that rather than one that's really authoritative?
You know, it's not necessarily one of those two. Like, I've had directors where they've lost control. Like, they're actually not even directing anymore. The producer's directing it. And for an actor, that gets very confusing because if you have a question, you would normally go to the director, and now you're looking, going, I think I'm supposed to now go to the producer. You don't want to step on anyone's toes, but you've seen that there's like chaos in the background and a power struggle. So that's why I think it's really important when you're on the other side and you're running a set, not to let your actors know when there's a problem. If there's a problem, you do it in private, you deal with it in private, you take it somewhere else, and you quietly deal with it, and you come back, and all is well. But when you see the chaos happening or the fights, it gets uncomfortable for everyone, and then the whole set is on edge, you know. So you never really want that.
So we're in two remakes, 13 years, and the stage were you able to do the originals? Have you seen the original?
I have not seen either original. And honestly, at the time, I don't know if I was really that aware that they were remakes. I mean, I think it was mentioned once in passing, but, you know, it was never like, go watch this, we're emulating it. Usually they want you to do your own thing anyway, and nobody said, like, you really, like for Scary Movie, we studied a lot of the other movies we were actually imitating. So I was studying things like Sarah Michelle Gellar would say in her cadences and the movements she would make when the scene was written to actually duplicate a scene that was done in a screen or something. But these, I was never told that that's what they were doing. And I think I don't remember who, I think one of the two even had said, you know, it is a remake, don't watch the other, don't worry about it. So it was out of my head anyway.
I think obviously the housekeeping part, it was a character in itself. What did that look like? Was it on a soundstage? How was that like?
It was in Vancouver on a soundstage, and what they did is they built one level of the house, and we shot out that level. And then they broke down the level and did the next level. So it had to be really hard to make sure you got everything before you go to another level and to make sure that it all matched. But the house was just incredible, and I remember Tony Shalhoub and I used to fly up and down from LA together, and we would talk about the script, and we'd come up with ideas, and then he would go and take it and pitch it to the director and producers, and it was so fun for me to be able to collaborate with somebody as amazing as Tony, and then he was like valuing what I was thinking or saying, and to me it was just, and I absolutely love him.
You got to work with obviously Tony and then Nadia and Matthew Lillard. Talk about what the space is like.
Well, F. Abraham was never there, I don't think, when I was there. I might have met him once, so I didn't really get to work with him. But I was very excited to be in a film with him. And then Matthew I'd actually worked with before. And he's always been just the sweetest guy, very funny, really nice to everybody. He's just a really nice guy. I'm sure if any of you guys have met Matthew Lillard, you probably have a great experience with him. He's the sweetest. So we had a really good time on that film. And it's funny because when you're all day long acting scared, that it's very easy to go home and be scared. Like, I was staying in this apartment in Vancouver. It was snowing out, winter, cold, and I would walk in and there were floor-to-ceiling sliding glass doors for my closets, so people could be in there. And that scared me, so I would literally go in and have to check all of my closets, under the bed, just make sure everything was locked and nobody was in there. Because like I've seen so many things, movies, and being in them, and it's like somebody could be in there. You don't want to lock them in with you, and I don't want to go to bed and have somebody sneak out of somewhere there waiting for me to go to bed. Like, we've all seen these things, so it freaks me out a little bit, so I have to check before I'm comfortable.
Talk about working with the actors that were in makeup. How did you, I guess, seeing them all the time, were you still able to be afraid of them?
Yeah, I remember, I think it was the guy with the nails all over him. I remember seeing him, I think it was him, sitting, reading a paper, smoking a cigarette, drinking a coffee. I'm like, this is so weird. Like, he's so chill, and how is he going to be playing this character? I mean, they were awesome, and some of them, I think one of them would tell me they went through 8 hours of makeup. To go through 8 hours of makeup before you even work. Like, oh my gosh, that was nuts. And I know that the scene where I get chased down the hall and get pulled up, and it's supposed to be the guy with the cage on his head, when we're doing it, it's his POV, so the camera's chasing me. The first time we do it, they pull me all the way down, and it stops, and the cameraman doesn't stop. And he comes right on top of me, and I grab his camera, and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's good. Like, nothing's broke. It's all good. As long as nothing's breaking, we're good.
So as far as Night of the Demons go, the first one had a very quintessential dance scene.
Okay. Which I haven't seen.
So talk about how did you prepare?
I don't prepare. Stuff like that. No, I didn't prepare. I don't know what to tell you. We just kind of did it. Just happened. Usually it would be alcohol, but I don't think we even had that. I don't know.
Out of the two films, in each film, what was one of your particular favorite scenes that you enjoyed?
The first one being 13 Ghosts. It's funny. There was a scene that was cut out that I really loved, and I'm thinking I'm going to use this scene in my reel. It was this great. It's when Tony and I are driving to the house, and the kids are in the back, and there's this whole heartfelt scene, and he and I talking about how Mom would have loved it, and they cut it down to a second because they wanted to get to the action. And I kept asking for that scene. I'm like, please give me that scene. It's on the cutting room floor. We don't have it. And I'm like, it's somewhere. Come on, somebody has the scene. They never gave it to me. And that was my favorite scene. I don't have a big memory of it. I think I've seen it once, if that. I guess the top of the stairs when I'm kind of greeting everybody and giving a speech, because I could just kind of go wild and do whatever.
Now, going into, from comedy into making horror films, did you realize there was such a rapid following for horror films?
No, I never thought about it. It was never a conscious decision. It's kind of, you get a script and you look for great scripts, great directors, casts. And if you're able to get, one of the three of those, sometimes you're happy. So with some of these, I got all three, and I was just ecstatic. I got really lucky with a lot of the films I was in, I think.
Another film that you were in, we're close to Christmas, obviously, Love Actually. Talk about working on that film. Literally 30 or more top celebrities in that film. Any good stories with working with some of them?
So I was only in the last scene, or one of the last scenes. Denise Richards plays my sister. And I remember she and I were out there in wardrobe fittings together and nervous because it's such a big, amazing cast. And our first experience was at breakfast, and everybody's on set because it's the airport scene. So everyone's there that day. And they've already put us through wardrobe. And it's the first time we're really kind of seeing everything, and there's like bright pink cowboy hats. And it's their interpretation of what our Midwest would look like. So we're very bright and a little like flamboyantly overdone for girls that are just supposed to be like Southern girls, I think. So we're getting some food and Hugh Grant is there. And we say hi to him, and Denise is like, I'm so embarrassed. I mean, if they dressed us like this, I look like such a hooker. And he goes, oh, my favorite. And we about lost it. So that was amazing, and he was like such a good guy, and we just had a great time after that.
If you could narrow down to who's one of your favorite co-stars in any of the films you've done?
Jeez, I don't know if I've ever thought about that. One of my favorite co-stars. I mean, I've already named some. I mean, definitely Tony. Henry Winkler was pretty incredible. As I remember when I was working with him, I worked with him in a film called The Kid and I. And it was also an all-star cast. And I really felt like I was in, I mean, it was with Joe Mantegna, and God, there were so many people in it. And I felt like I was in over my head. And I said something in passing kind of to Henry going, I just don't feel worthy. And he looked at me and he's like, I want every day, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take your lipstick and write on your mirror, I am worthy. The mirror you look in and get ready in every day, and I want you to look in that every day because you are worthy. And he was just the nicest guy, and I went home and did that because he told me to. And I just loved him so much. So yeah, that stayed up there for a very long time.
That's a great story. You were executive producer on Swing Away, which you also started. Is this the opening of a new chapter in your career, or are you thinking about it?
I've always wanted to produce and direct. I think it's a natural progression for a lot of actors that are type A personality, and they want to like take control, or you've been in projects where maybe you had a vision and they had a different vision. You're like, oh, I wish I could have done my vision. That would have been so cool. And so you start to want to be able to create what's in your head, because as an actor, it's almost like being a model sometimes, because as a model, we were just clothes hangers. It wasn't about us, it was about the clothes. And so as an actor, it's about the dialogue, it's about the characters, it's about all these other things. But like when you're directing, or even when you've written something, like, it's just something that when you're creative, you want to be creative across the board in so many things. And most actors are creative on so many things. That's why you see actors that are also artists or that are musicians. Across the board, they're just like wanting to have that outlet. So yeah, we should make them out, by the way. I'm sorry.
So you're a celebrity poker player.
I like to say I'm just a poker player.
Okay, you're just a poker player.
But I was a poker player.
Did you play anymore?
I'm only playing for charity now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I did it for a period of time. I did it originally to raise money for my charity. So the very first time I played, it was on Bravo's Celebrity Poker Showdown. And I was like, I'm for Texas, but I don't know what Texas Hold'em is. But I'm willing to learn, because I used to play penny poker with my grandmother at the kitchen table when I was young. So like, it's funny, my cousin is a news anchor in New York, and she's a glamorous girl, and she loves hair and makeup, and she loves dresses. And I was always a tomboy playing poker at the table with my grandparents. And to this day, she's still that girl and I'm still that girl. And we look at it and laugh. And we have photos of that where it really reflects that. So I literally, they said, if you come on, you'll get $5,000 for your charity just for going on. I was like, all right, cool. So I did it. I'm like, I don't get this game. You either fold or hold. I don't get it. And then I did it again for another charity thing, and again. And then some of the pros came to my house and did like a teaching session with a group of us. And eventually I was like, oh, there's strategy. Oh, it's about like mind screwing people over, and you know. And I was like, okay, so it's not even about the cars. And that's when I got excited. And that's when because like I love things with strategy. So like people think I'm crazy unless they love it too, but I've always loved Big Brother because there is strategy to it. I love things with strategy. I always loved chess growing up because then you're trying to think like 10 steps ahead. So for me, once I got it, I got really into it. And then I was getting sponsored to play, and I was basically free rolling all the time. And sometimes I would raise money for my charity. And sometimes it was for me, and I kind of felt like, well, it's keeping me from yelling at my agents and managers when they're not doing anything, so I might as well be doing this. It's giving me like another job, basically, so it kept me off of their back, and it was like another family, because actors become your family, but now all these poker players became my family. And I really loved that, and I got to travel the world doing it. I would show up in Melbourne, and they'd all be there, and we'd all go around Melbourne together. And it was fun. I really, really loved it, and I miss it.
So I can assume your friends don't like to play you against you in poker.
It depends what friends. I mean, a lot of actors play poker, and a lot of them are very good. And I would rather play with people who know how to play over somebody who has no idea what they're doing any day. Because if they have no idea, you can't read them, and they're going to do unconventional things, which, by the way, is how I won in the beginning, because I didn't know what I was doing. And I did things that I shouldn't have done and got lucky and won, and it made other people mad.
Talk about your charity, especially as you
So I founded a charity called Animal Avengers in 2001, and it was, in the beginning, it was because I was beginning to be in a position where I wanted to give to charity, and my ex now, but boyfriend at the time, it was a slow progression of saying, well, let's do this ourselves. We know we can do it right, and we know the money's going to the animals. So we started as animal rescue, and in LA we did it for 10 years. It was a dog and cat rescue. We had foster homes. We got dogs off the street now, the pounds, and got them healthy and trained in good loving homes. And after that, I wanted to help more animals in a much bigger way, and I didn't know what that looked like yet. So we kind of like wound it down for various reasons, and so I'm just going to put it on hold, and I'm going to figure out how I can help more animals than one at a time. And at the beginning of last year, I became very aware of the poaching crisis, specifically in Africa with the rhinos and the elephants. And social media really allows you to see what's happening somewhat in the rest of the world and to touch you in a way that can be very hard. And I make myself watch the videos because as hard as they are, it's still happening to these animals. And just because I don't watch them doesn't mean it's not happening. So I make sure I watch these videos, and there was one elephant poaching video that got me. And I couldn't stop crying. The night I watched it, I was getting ready to go out, and I kept trying to get it out of my head, and all night long I kept crying. And for the whole next week or two, it kept eating at me, and I said, you know what, this is how I'm going to revamp my charity. I want to help the animals that are getting poached, because within 10 years, they're going to be extinct from the wild if we don't do something about it. The rate that they're dying, that's it. And for us to allow these animals to go extinct in our lifetime is just horrific. And I don't want to sit by and let that happen and have not done anything. I can't know about it and not do anything. So I did a crowdfunder last summer and said I'm going to go to Africa and use this money to help 3 different organizations on the ground that are already doing good work, and let that be the beginning of my journey of learning who's doing what, why things are happening, talking to people. We ended up filming the whole thing, and it was a way for me to get started. And now I've gone over there a couple times, and next week I'm moving there. So I'm moving to Africa, South Africa next week. We're starting a division of my charity there. We've already got our board of directors, and we've got some programs we want to put into place. So we have some big plans, and I mean, for me, I can't stop until I feel like I've made a measurable difference for the animals, and then I still won't stop. But it's made me really, really realize that I love acting, and acting is amazing, and it's given me the platform that it has for the animals. But the animals are my reason for being on this planet. So I'm going to continue to follow my mission on the planet, and I'll continue my acting work, but very specifically on things that I feel like either are for the animals, or there's a good reason for me to be taking time away from the animals to do it, and just keeping up that platform so that I can make a difference for them, because I just feel like that's all that matters to me now.
Well, it's really wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can see it.